Before we get into today's episode, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the Open Doors, Open Mind YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify and on our other social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook and now TikTok. Links to all will be in the description below. But without further ado, let's watch the episode.
Happy whatever day it is today. It's indeterminate days because we don't know when I'm going to be free.
No, that's
not true. I was free yesterday. You were not. The day that we normally film this, you weren't free.
Yeah, I've messed it up. I've done all sorts for next week as well.
What's happening next week?
So Thursday, I've managed to book myself in at 4 places.
Okay. Well, I don't care because I don't wear review Thursdays.
4 places.
Today's
and
Thursday.
They're all at the same time.
Do you need a secretary or did you need to just work out your life a little bit better?
Just like, I don't know. So like, obviously Emma was supposed to be on today. She's just not quite ready.
Yeah.
And obviously I was talking to her literally probably 10, 15 minutes ago.
She needs to bite the bullet on this one, I think.
She does.
I know there's a lot of stuff going on, but it becomes a thing now.
Well, that's what I said. She come out of therapy. She was supposed to come out of therapy straight to here.
Yeah.
But obviously
that's quite intense.
It was a bit too intense for her, and
I understand that.
Bits and pieces, and we kind of had we could have had a good hour conversation, really.
Yeah.
Because
we could have just done it on here.
And that's kind of what. But I get it, and I understand it.
But there's no perfect timing. If you're talking about being vulnerable, actually, I'll tell you what happened this week, and you might go, "Who's this guy?" There was a mental health talk, and I'll see if he'll come on. But it's a big guest if we can. Do you know Brian McDermott?
Yeah.
Do you know his name?
Yeah, no, Brian.
So
the one who was on X Factor and
no. Oh my God, who are you talking about?
Brian.
No, that's.
Have I got the wrong guy completely?
That's Dermot O'Leary.
Oh shit.
But that is a big guest. That is a big guest. That's not who I'm talking about. But let's try and figure out more people who you think this person is. Brian McDermott. Everyone's going to be screaming about you that you just got it wrong from the presenter of X Factor. Ooh. Yeah, who does This Morning with Alison Hammond. Yeah, that guy. No, we're not getting him on. I mean, it'd be great. Do you know what? I need to say, Dermot, if you want to come and do the show, come and do it. We've got 4 watchers. Like, no. Brian McDermott was the old Reading manager. And he promoted the Reading football team into the Premiership, right? And he was talking about his vulnerability of how he felt when those things were going on and how he never thought he was good enough.
That's pretty much the similar discussion to what me and Emma are having. And
I'm not belittling the conversation you had with Emma.
No.
But at the same time, Brian got Reading into the Premiership and won the Championship to do it. Like, he didn't even go off because we can't do playoffs. So you won't know this because you don't know football. But, like, we can't win playoffs, right? It's just never a thing. But we do win the title.
Right.
And he did that. And it's a thing that's only done like a couple of times, right? And then he did quite well in the Premiership, and he's like up against like the biggest managers ever, like Sir Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger, Benitez, like the biggest people ever, and he's winning these games.
Yeah, but I think tonight with your was it Piers? Is it Piers Morgan?
Oh yeah,
and Ronaldo. I think that's going to open up a lot of things to connecting into what you're saying.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I care less about that because I know McDermott's not a millionaire or a billionaire. Like, I don't, oh, I'm sorry, Ronaldo. I'm sorry. You're 37. I'm sorry, Ronaldo. You've had the most incredible life ever, and you're upset that you're not getting picked about stuff. Stop it. And you want to go and slag off the infrastructure of Man United. Okay. Where is that getting you?
That is a true football fan there, right? Because I didn't even get what he was moaning about.
Yeah, exactly. But the funny thing is that the sensationalist sort of stuff that happens to people who don't know anything about football are like, oh my goodness, you know what I mean? Like,
dare you?
I always go. I create this fact and like this quote that I hear all the time, right? And I love this. Is people keep on watching the news like they've watched the last 5 minutes of Jaws, and they go, "What did the shark do?" They've not watched the whole film. They've watched the last 5 minutes of a guy got a gun and then shoots a shark. And they was like, what did the shark do? You're like, oh, did you watch the whole film? No, I'm outraged on this last bit.
How dare you kill the shark?
What did the shark? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's about right.
But yeah, so it was a wonderful talk. It was very humbling. He was very frank. He was very honest. It was kind of hard to not listen to because it's great. You know, I spoke about this before about men crying and stuff like that, and being emotional and having feelings in ways that you just, it's a bit like your granddad. Like you just don't think of them in that way.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't. And when they show you vulnerability, you're like, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to do that. No, you got to be strong.
You got to be the rock for me, and that is bang on the conversation I was having today.
Really,
bang on the conversation today. So, right, okay. So the basics of the conversation is pretty much what you're talking about: vulnerability.
Yeah.
So
I mean, she's being super vulnerable and just turning herself up.
And she basically said, Scott, look, you've been through a lot. Because obviously I'm having a bit of a up and down.
Of course.
And it's like, Scott, she said, you've got to let yourself be vulnerable again. And I can't do it. So obviously...
Aren't you doing... Wait. Aren't you being vulnerable just doing this?
Yeah, but I'm in control.
Are you? You have no idea what curveballs are.
All right, then. Okay, I'll chuck you a curveball. And we'll see how vulnerable... See if it is. Do you believe in love?
Depends what. Because you love your kids, yeah? That's a different love that you're talking about.
Yeah,
but that's still love. That's still word.
No, I'm talking... so, like, obviously we were talking, and she said, look, Scott, you need to let people back in. And I said, I can't do it. I can't go through being in a relationship for 20 years, married for 12, having 4 kids, and letting somebody back in and hurt me like that again. My mental health couldn't handle it.
But what if they made you better?
I don't think it's possible. I genuinely couldn't make myself vulnerable.
So what do you want?
Again, like that.
Why is someone else telling you should be in love?
So, basically, obviously, the stuff that she's going through and bits and pieces, she opened up with a therapist today. And basically, even though everything, what he's done to her and basically messing with her mental health, she is struggling because she loves him. The fact that she didn't know which way she would go if he asked to come back. And I was basically passing on my experience. She was like, yeah, but Scott, you... Like my ex basically told me, I said, you love too much. And I was like, well, there you go then. So what's the point? What is the point? Because all I'm doing is messing with my own mental health by letting other people in and making myself vulnerable, right?
Those are the biggest hearts, are the easiest to kill.
So that's what I'm trying to say. You're saying to make yourself vulnerable.
I never said that.
No, in the sense of with what the conversation, but I don't believe in it anymore. And I think my mental health, I want to say better by having that shield, that barrier, that I won't go down that same road again.
Well, then don't.
So you don't believe in love then?
No, I did say I did believe in love. I said just don't go. If the fire's going to hurt you, don't touch the fire.
But the fire is love, isn't it?
But do you want it?
I don't know. I generally don't know anymore.
Well, that's no. You've said the word in the sentence. You never said, maybe.
So have you ever been in love?
Of course.
And you, obviously, it's painful, right?
Yeah, but it's meant to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it meant to be painful?
Yes. Do you know the difference between love and hate?
Go on.
It's... Love is here.
Mm-hmm.
Hate is here. That's as close as it is. And that's what you're teetering on the whole time. Friends, family, loved ones.
But you don't think it messes with your mental health and how you see life and how you treat other people?
No, it's learning experiences. It's a learning curve. It's figuring out what you want, what you don't want, what is okay. You know, if someone's too nice to you, you won't treat them well. You just won't. You walk all over them. It's too easy. You know what I mean? We're at that kind of place that If someone's really nice, you're like, why? What do you want? Like, you're not just like, I just love you. I just wanted to do it because I liked you. You're like, really? And people don't believe it.
Mm.
You know, so when you are in love, you're vulnerable. They know stuff about you, and they can wind you up with one sentence.
Yeah.
You know, even when you love them,
Even when you hate them.
but you still love them, because to hate someone normally is to be kind of invested in them. Because you don't really normally hate people that you don't know at all or care about. You're just like, I don't care about them. You don't say I hate them. The people like to say that because people like to speak extreme all the time. People like to say I'm starving instead of saying I'm hungry. People like to say I'm exhausted instead of saying I'm tired. You know, people like to extreme talk all the time, and we might say the words, I hate them, because they're on a reality TV program, I've never met them. But really what you're saying is like, I don't really care for them. But to truly hate someone means that you're invested in them at one point, and they hurt you.
Yeah. And obviously that...
And so you're retaliating by saying I hate you because they hurt you.
Yeah.
You don't normally hate them when they haven't hurt you. So it's a retaliation of what you're going through. That's your reaction. I don't know.
That just got a bit deep real quick.
I do you know what? There's a funny thing, and if you have some stuff to say about this. This is funny that you asked me the question, because it leads into the thing that I came in with today, which is I want you to name 3 people that you. I'm going to ask you 2 questions. 3 people that you love. Name them straight away. 3, 2, 1, go.
All 4 of my kids.
Yeah.
That's 1.
Okay.
My mother.
Yeah.
And my family.
Amazing. Can you name me 3 people that you like?
Like?
Yeah.
As in,
You don't have to love your mate, you know what I mean? But you like them.
oh, right.
Yeah.
My best mate, Katie.
Yeah.
We've been through thick and thin. Like Kevin, he annoys me a little bit.
You like him.
But I like him.
Yeah.
You just put up with him. And, yeah, just work colleagues.
Cool.
What are you up to?
In both questions I asked, not one of them was you. You didn't put yourself in that category of loving yourself or liking yourself at all. I like me first. I'm a part of that list. You put all these people in front of you, but you care about your mental health all the time. It's bollocks, because you didn't put yourself on that list. So if you don't care about yourself, why the fuck will anyone else?
But isn't that...
Why is it self-indulgent?
Ego.
No, why? What is your psychiatrist saying? To be nicer to yourself, to like yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no space for you on that list at all. You can be like, actually, I'm even on the list. I might not be in the top 5 or top 6 or whatever, but I'm actually on the list. But not once would you even think about it. Even if I made you say 10 people, would you have been on that list?
No.
So why should we care about your mental health when you don't care about it?
It's not a bad way of looking at it.
If you're not on your own list, what's the point?
Because is the word egotistical?
And who cares? Who cares that you might like yourself?
Arrogant.
Who cares if you like your... So what's the point of us trying to fix ourselves when we don't like ourselves? Let alone love ourselves. Because if we do and we get to a point where we can fix ourselves, then we have to be on that list. So then we have to be these words you just said, egotistical, full of ourselves. What's the point? What is the actual point of us going through this life and talking to these people and doing this podcast if we're not even going to like our fucking selves? Because if you don't like yourself or love yourself by next week, I will not do this podcast with you ever again. Because you have to be put on that. You have to put yourself on that list. If you care about your own feelings, which you do, because you tell me every single week you do, right? But you don't even like yourself.
No, I don't like who I am as a person at the moment. No, that's a lie. It all depends. In politeness, it all depends what fucking day of the week it is.
Of course.
And how you are, how I am emotionally and what the world has chucked at me. And like, I don't like myself that, I say don't like myself. I feel I'm missing something all the time. I feel like I've got a part of me that's, you're always hitting self-destruct. Do you know what I mean? As in, you don't realise you're doing it. It's like as if you're doing it subconsciously.
Are you taking everything for granted?
Yeah, you do. I think everybody takes it in granted till it's gone.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like gone. It's a very...
So, put it this way. Your kids are healthy, yeah?
Yeah.
You are.
Mm-hmm.
You got a house, roof over your head.
Yeah.
You got some food in the fridge.
Yeah.
You got clean clothes.
Ish.
We're still lads, aren't we? Still lads. You know. Still got a job.
Yes.
Would you swap any of those things and not have them?
No.
No, of course not. So what we need to do is we need to be thankful for the shit that we have. So much. Because we just take it for granted. Like you said, once one of those things are taken away, you were like, I did not appreciate that. When your washing machine just breaks down, you're like, I did not appreciate the way it just worked.
Yeah, it's like when you have a cold, isn't it? Or something like that.
Oh, you said this before? Yeah.
Yeah. You don't realise how good it was.
You're like, oh, yeah. Oh, hello.
Oh.
It's all right. We got screensavers. Fine. We got bored. At least it's not flickering. But it's just, I just feel that if we want to make any of this worthwhile, I guarantee when I speak to you in 30 years' time, and you're 107, we don't like to be serious all the time, man. It's fine. You know, I think that the regretful stuff is that you just sweated the small stuff a lot.
Yeah.
And all the little stuff, you're like, oh, shit, I don't know if that's important enough. Like, you know what I mean? To really consume you forever. Forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just want this, in the politest way, I want the dark cloud to fuck off and just enjoy life.
Yeah, but what if it doesn't and then you just focus on that dark cloud all the time and you went, I wish I just didn't focus on it as much? That's easier said than done, but I'm just saying that you know, the things you cared about when you were a kid, do they matter now? No. The worries you had
I
when
want
you were
them
younger.
worries that I had as a kid.
Yeah, of course you do, but as a kid, that was your worry.
Yeah.
But tell me what happens if one of those things that I just mentioned that you said you had disappears and goes. Like, you wished you were like, I wish it was just a dark cloud I was annoyed with, you know?
Yeah. It's different. I don't know how to kind of put it into words. It does literally depend on the time of day, where I am, what's happened before, who I've spoken to. Because in a politest way, sometimes it's who you surround yourself with. Like the conversations we have, I always like at the end of a podcast, I feel, oh yeah, you know, I'm up when I walk off after doing a podcast and bits and pieces. But like, I can see, like when Emma, perfect example, she's gone, yeah, but Scott, don't give up on love. I ain't give up on it. I just ain't a priority.
You just don't want it now. It's fine.
I can't, it's like, I'd rather just, if I had a magic wand, Harry Potter style wand, just make that I was never, ever, ever, ever negative. And then, or had depression or anxiety or anything, but then you wouldn't appreciate it until it was gone, right?
But then isn't it weird that if something of those things that I mentioned stopped and wasn't around as, you know, anymore, or something went wrong, isn't it weird that you wouldn't be sad?
My question is, why do we have feelings? Why are we as a species got feelings that we feel love? We want to.
It's not just us though. It's like all creatures.
No.
Yes.
No.
100%.
Go on, then name me a tiger. Doesn't want love.
You don't. You have no idea. Of course it does.
How does it?
Because it fights. It fights to be king.
It fights to obviously mate or be the top dog or
Same
in the jungle
as
to
fucking
eat,
humans. Yeah.
right? But it doesn't need love.
We're exactly. Of course
It
it does.
only does
It needs
what its
companionships. It needs to be surrounded.
No, but tigers are solitary animals, aren't they?
From our perspective of what they need. You could be exactly the same if you wanted
But
to.
why? Why God or universe or whatever why did we allow ourselves to experience happiness, sad?
Because it still happens, and they're still sad. I remember I was doing some work in the garden, and this little mouse came up, and I was like, "You all right?" Just a little thing, and I could see in its face something was wrong. Honestly, I'm projecting my human emotions that something's wrong, because I was like, "Why are you so close to me? What's up?" And she came across, and she was right next to me, and she was like, "I was like, your babies are there, aren't they?" So I carefully dug down, picked up one. She picked it up. She ran off. She came back. I was like, okay, how many more? We were there for a while. And we got about six out. And she taken away. And she came back. And I was like, there are no more. There's no more. There was. She knew how many there were. She knew. And it wasn't because I'd already planted some other pots and put some stuff away. And she stood there, she's just looking at me. And I unpotted one of the pots, nothing. Another one, nothing. Last one, found it. It's dead. She knew. And I put it down, and she just licked him. She didn't do that to any of the others.
Yeah, but why? Why have...
Because we need feelings to keep us alive. Honestly, we do. That's why you don't bite off your tongue. That's why we have feelings in our mouths, and so when we hurt ourselves, we have nerve endings, so we don't chop off our hands by just doing something
but why
stupid.
not only experience pleasure, never experience pain?
Because only one exists without the other. Like it doesn't mean anything if it's just one. You can't just have fun because there's no baseline. You need up and down. It would be nothing. It honestly, without sadness and whatever, there would be nothing. It would be absolutely, completely nothing. It'd be void of emotion. You'd just be like a robot. Like this computer right now. That's all it would be.
So you...
to wish something away, the problem about it is there's no release. So if someone dies, because that's inevitable, you can't keep everyone alive.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want any sadness. You don't want any release. Just want it to be joy.
Some days. I get it. I do. When I'm having a bad day, I look forward to the good day. And when I get the good day, it kind of reminds me I had to go through the bad to get to the good. It's just, all right then. I'd rather it was balanced. You knew on a Monday was going to be a bad day and on Tuesday was going to be a good day.
I told you it's balanced. It is balanced.
So how do we keep it balanced? That's the question.
Because you have to allow the bad days. But you have to not lean into them. You have to lean into the good stuff. People don't care when things go well for themselves. They're like, oh, cool. Good, I earned that. They don't go, actually, whoa. What a day it's been. I can't believe it. Like, oh, my God. Like, I feel like I've been really lucky for that. But, yeah, incredible. What an incredible day. I love that. I'm going to write that down. That was good.
But there are people out there that do that, right? There's got to be.
What do you mean?
That people that go through, they go, oh, I've had like one of the best days of my life.
Yeah, you should. And you have.
I already know what my best days of my life are. Or was. There was one extra, but it wasn't quite the same.
Was it doing this?
Oh, yeah. It's the best. No, it's not. Obviously, different parts of your life, you would say, if you was a child up to, say, 12, you would have had your best day of your life up to that point, right?
Yeah, relatively, yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously, again, so as you grow up to a certain stage, oh, no, actually, that was the best part. It always kind of changes. I think the best day for me will never change now because of what it was. And it was basically when my kids were born. I suppose, obviously, they say that you shouldn't say this on the first child was the thing that changes the way you look at life, the way you experience life, so all your other best days of your life didn't really come close, or it's moved.
Depends if the first child is easy at like a birth and all that stuff and there was no problems. Then the second child could have had more struggles, wasn't going to survive, and then it does.
Yeah.
That could easily overshadow the first child situation.
Yeah.
But I do understand it. Most people's best days of their life is when their children are born, because it's the first time that you're not important.
No,
you're not important.
But
it makes no difference.
I got jealous of that. I did get jealous that no, it's hard. It's weird.
No. I can understand it because I guarantee no one asks their dad how they're doing.
Yeah,
no one.
Listen,
no one says how
as much
you
as
doing?
we hate each other. She went through a lot.
Yeah,
she did go through a lot, and obviously I didn't have to go physically.
No,
and they automatically have that bond. They have all the things, but as a dad, you don't.
Oh well, that's why most dads look at children and just go, "I see you when you're older." You can't even catch what's going on with you. You're right. Can you speak? Can you get something? Can you get me a beer? Can't do anything.
But do you think that's like how it should be?
Well, it's not that how it should be. I think that the majority of times maternal stuff is from mum.
But how do they mentally do it? That's what I'm trying to say to you.
They have no other choice. There's a theory about men and women, which is men predominantly care about things and women predominantly care about people. Not everyone, but predominantly that's what the strategy is like. But that's what you have to do to survive. You know what I mean? Like so. That's why there's more people working in nursing and in younger education than women, because they care about people.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah, because it's not that you don't care about people at all. It's just not as much as a woman will.
No, I get it. I get that.
And if you grow something in your body, mate, apart from very small percentage of people that do find it hard and get depression, after giving birth and stuff like that. But majority of times, like, that's yours. Like, I get excited when I grow a plant. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I bet you do. I will make.
Of course, mate. So, but a person, because the funny thing is, this is a weird. I don't know how people normally think about it this way, but a mum is a mum as soon as they're pregnant. A dad is not a dad until it's here.
And even then, I don't think that, yes, you have the responsibilities and you are officially a dad, but I don't think you feel that until you kind of have the first reasonable conversation with your child.
Can mould them in your way. Or they go...
The first thing I taught all my kids was to bring me the TV remote.
The patriarchy in your house.
No, this is my living room. That's my TV.
Yeah.
Get out.
Get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the wrong thing to do. Right?
I don't know. I think everyone uses children as a little bit like slaves in their house. Like, in the sense of they're just like, go and get me this, do this, put this in the bin. Like, kids are like, oh, well, that's well helpful. I'm being helpful. You're like, not really. I mean, you are, but I just can't be bothered to do it.
It's how parents manipulate their kids, because I used to do it at Christmas all the time. I'd had Father Christmas on there. And obviously it's a telephone number you could get, and you'd actually say, hi, Father Christmas, blah, blah, blah. Mate, I had him in tears.
Of course.
No, I'm ringing him. You've not done this. You've not done that. Your room's a mess. No, Dad, don't do it. Don't do it.
I love that. I do love that because I just feel like there's the
innocence of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's super
love
important.
tormenting them. No, with the innocent side of it. They're going to put a cigarette in. But knowing that kind of stuff, it was like, you're doing as you're told because you think Father Christmas is what.
You have to remember, they decide where you go in the end. So you're going to old people's home and they're looking after you. So.
I know I'm being put in the...
you're going home.
Yeah, no, it's never going to... In the politest way, my kids are not going to be looking after me, I think.
No?
No, I've tormented them far too much.
How old is your oldest now?
17.
Would you have them on here?
If she would want to come on, yeah, I would have.
17's the hard age.
Yeah, it's in the politest way. Do you know what the happiest age was? Probably about between 5 and 10.
Yeah, 100%.
Reasonable.
Because, do you know why? Because they don't have the emotions. Apart from like a kid emotions, which is up and down like crazy, but it's about nothing. It's about they can't have a biscuit or they can't watch like a TV show. That's what they're worried about. That's the biggest thing. As soon as teenager life comes in, you're like, oh, crap. Now you worry like me.
Yeah, literally. So Scott Jr., he lives with me. He's like, oh, Dad, you don't understand. No, mate, definitely made that mistake. No, I'm not just your dad. I did experience life. Yeah, but Dad, you just don't get it. What do you mean I don't fucking get it? Of course I get it.
But you don't get it. You don't get it now, though.
Do I not?
You get it then.
Right.
It's different now.
But he's making the same mistake.
Doesn't make a difference. He's making it now.
Yeah, I think teenagers are hard.
I mean, I can guarantee you were not a walk in the park.
Oh, no, I wasn't. My mum says to me, yep, you done it. Yep, just like you. Yep, you've done it. Yep, Mum. But the difference is, no, you definitely did it.
Oh, you're having the same conversation with your mum that you're having with your child. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and it's like, right, so fuck off.
That's not winning the conversation.
And I fear that, when you say stuff, I find myself saying stuff that my parents said.
Oh.
Don't do as I do, as I say.
Yeah.
Fuck me. I used to always say, no, I never say it. I'll never do that.
And then you find yourself doing it.
It's bollocks. But kids are the most emotional. Teenagers are. Fuck me. You've only got to say one thing wrong. But you meant it one way. And they've taken this whole little thing and created a whole new story that adds into with it. That's not what you said.
Oh, because majority of times human beings, and especially teenagers, want to be right and not wrong. And when you show them they're wrong, that's everything breaking down. It's too much. It's too much. And your whole life is changing. Your body's growing. You're like, everything hurts. Like, you start loving people that you didn't give a crap about 3 years ago that were in your class. You know what I mean? And that's just if you're fucking straight. Like, if you got to deal with stuff and you're anything else.
So when did you on that subject then? Obviously,
wow, here we go. Let's go.
Yeah, well, obviously, as a teenager, mental health bits and pieces. For someone that's gay,
yeah.
When did you? Because obviously, that's got to be a whole. Obviously, like you just said, you hit the nail on the head, and that's for a straight person.
Yeah,
it's got to be a lot more tougher for someone that's gay or
because no one's going to ask if I've got a boyfriend. Everyone's going to be like, "Do you have a girlfriend?" So straight away. It's already difficult.
Yeah, like your parents, all that sort of stuff.
Anyone. Absolutely anyone.
But when did you know?
When I was like 8.
You just knew.
Yeah. You get called gay before you know it. Other people can say it before you know it. Girls definitely can say it. They will never call you in a derogative way. It's just not their kind of way. Not saying that none will, but not many times. But yeah.
So you were called gay before you kind of realised you were
100%. Yeah. And then what did I do? I came out when I was 16. So there's 8 years.
8 years of dealing with
and that was coming out to my friends. That wasn't anyone else. So it's the 8 years of just going, oh, crap. And do you know what? And especially at the beginning, it's nothing sexual. It's not about fancying anyone. You're just freaking different. You're just different. And you're like, oh. And it's weird because there's simple things, this is not the same for everyone. This is only my story, and what I've seen for kids, teaching all this time and stuff is that girls gravitate to the kind of kid.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of boy. There's no other rough and tumble boy that's hanging out with girls. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No. Not at all.
So when does it change? Why does it change?
Well, there's no change there. I just think that the girls know at that age that you're never going to hurt them. You're never going to be rough with them. And you're never going to take it that extra step when you get older. They kind of just trust. So that's why boys and girls are quite separate when they're younger. Because they've got their little tribes. And the infiltration of it is sometimes the crossover of the gay kid.
Is that what you was, the crossover?
Yeah, but what? Even more, that I didn't really sit in the camp of the girls because I play football. So I didn't have to,
But did your friends know you were gay when you told them?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. There's only like one or two that were like, what? But because I was the first one. If I was the 10th one, no one cares. But if you're the first one, then people care.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And then I had to say that I was bi first because it was easier for my straight guy friends. Girls didn't really care. But yeah, it was easier for you still like girls though, yeah? It's like, yeah.
What, just to make it easier?
Yeah, of course it is.
But did that not mess with your mental health?
Nah. Just play the game. I'd already been thinking about it for 8 years. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, oh, that's what it is. You know, everyone has a secret. Just some secrets are bigger.
True.
Yeah. So, and I see kids now and, you know, kids that, like, I can normally tell.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Not every time. Because kids are camp. Because
next generation are wet.
No. But no. Frozen fucked up some kids because do you know what? There's no male character really in that. The main characters are Anna and Elsa, and they're freaking awesome. And you're like, well, I guess I'm Anna. You know what I mean? Because because there's no other thing. There's so many. I was with my friend yesterday from school. She got a little boy, and when he was younger, when he was shy, he just dressed up as one of the people from Frozen because that was what he did. If you tell him that now, I swear he'd say, "Shut the fuck up! Don't say that to anyone.
Don't tell no one.
I'm not playing football, right?" And that was the thing I was just doing because I watched this Disney program and it was incredible, but I didn't know who I was, so I was like, probably a bit like her, and I don't know.
But as for a straight person, you just doesn't have to be thought about. So
no, it doesn't, not at all. But for a gay person, especially now, they're like, well, okay, this. Yeah, you're like, oh, I don't know.
Do you not think it's easier now? Not saying that all the problems
depending on where you live. I mean, it's easier at time. There was no better time to be gay than now. There's no better time to be accepted. Anything. But just because, remember, if it's one, holy mother, Jesus, like, you know, what the hell, abomination. But if there's 500, you're like, okay, who cares? You know what I mean? It's all about it being diluted. Normal. You just feel like, I don't care. That's why people have problems with trans people right now, because majority of people don't know anyone trans. But like, after a while, and you like someone in your group, and you're like, I'll call you Kerry. I don't care. Like, you're still my mate. Like, who cares?
That's probably true, actually, the way you feel.
But because it's not happened, or not happened more than twice or whatever, you're like, what the I'm never going to call you that. But if it's a second or third person, you're like, you all right, Susan? Yeah, fine. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't care. Like, it makes no difference to my life whatsoever. What I would be doing is just making your life harder. Why am I doing that? Who cares?
Yeah, it's just let people be who they are, I suppose.
It doesn't infringe on anything that we do.
No, it still could be whoever you want to be.
Yeah, I don't care. Do whatever you want. It's fine. As long as you're not hurting anyone, or hopefully not hurting yourself. But maybe you are going to hurt yourself if I'm like, ugh. They're like, oh. Because I guarantee the funniest thing, that there's one person or two people that had a problem with me coming out when I was 16. And guess what? I can remember every moment of that.
Oh,
forever.
Really?
Yeah. I can't remember anyone that I told him. I was like, yeah, awesome. I cannot remember anyone going, yeah, cool. I could just remember people like, really? Why? You know,
why?
Because I might be their first person. And they're 16 too. And they were like, do you fancy me? And then all of a sudden, like, no. They're like, well,
what do you mean, no?
What's wrong with me?
What, you're gay and you don't
fancy me? Like, look, you don't want to, you know. No, you don't. You're kind of average in our world.
You little demons. You're not even a one in our world.
I remember taking some straight guys to a gay bar, and they were like, oh, better not. No one look at me. I'm probably not going to go to it. No, I can't go and stuff. And then sort of 20 minutes, half an hour later, and they're like, oh, they sell beer here. I was like, yeah. They're like, oh, cool. I'll probably have a beer. I was like, okay. And then we'll leave, and they were like, Dad. I was like, what? He went, am I ugly in the gay world? I was like, you are. If you're in London, you are. I'm going to tell you. Because all the pretty people go to the capital cities. So he'd be like, not one person.
You're not even on one.
He's like, not one person hit on me. I'd be like, yeah, because you're not special.
Yeah, I would fuck with you.
But the funny thing is, and I've always said this, when sometimes it has happened, and my friends come to the gay bars and they're like, oh, and they're, oh, come on, and I feel like I'm being stared at, and I feel like they won't leave me alone, and they're like telling me to come over and like talk to me and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's how you make women feel every day. Every day. Just shut up. Shut up. It's fine.
I think that would annoy me if I went to a gay bar and no one cracked on.
No one. No one even looked at you.
That would make you feel ugly, right? That would.
You'd be like,
what the fuck?
I'm not. Yeah.
I want to be able to go into a club and go, all women like me, all men like me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was the boy.
Yeah. Because theoretically speaking, if you went to any club and people cracked onto you and they weren't your type, you'd be like, no thanks. It doesn't make a difference if they're girls or boys.
No, but it does help your ego, right?
Oh, 100%.
You basically your mate when they go, oh, someone's going to crack onto me. What do I say? And shit.
I used to go to gay bars like in London that weren't like the prestigious gay bars and definitely get hit on more.
Oh, but what?
Yeah, because they weren't the gay bars with like the incredible models out.
Oh, so then you become the 9 or a 10.
Then I'm the model.
So hang on then. So if I went to a gay bar,
Yeah.
what would I be on a scale of 1 to 10?
I don't know. Actually, you'll probably be a bit of a daddy. So I feel like,
Oh. What does that mean? What does that mean?
like I don't know, because like you're like stocky and you're older and stuff like that. So you would probably get quite a lot of like.
Would I get the pretty boys?
Yeah, you get the twinks.
Yeah. The what?
Twinks,
What's a twink?
like a young, like blonde-headed, like handsome.
With daddy issues.
They don't all have daddy issues, but I can imagine majority do because most of their dads.
So
are
I would actually be all right then.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be hit on all the time. Like I feel.
That makes me feel a little bit better. Because I'm doing shit in the straight world. But as long as I know I
just
can
get
do
a
all right
boost,
in the
man.
gay
Just
world.
get a boost. It's fine. Yeah. Again, also, especially if they're just twinks around you, you'll be like, no. You know what I mean? And then there's no other big burly men trying to get you. Well, actually, probably there would be as well. I don't know. I think you do well.
So what are they called? Twinks?
Yeah, twinks. Yeah.
So I was the daddy for a twink.
You're like a daddy. You're not really a bear. You have like a little bit of a thing. You're kind of a little bit Paul Hollywood, I think.
So, but I would do all right. So what do you reckon on a 1 to 10 then? What do you reckon
I think if you were going out into town and you're just around, I think people will give you like a solid like 7. You know what I mean? Like a solid like across the board.
I'm a solid 3 in the straight world at the moment.
So I've doubled your points plus 1. You know what I mean?
I'm doing all
because
right.
if you saw a 9, you'd be like, fuck. I think I might love him. You know what I mean? Like, when you see someone that is beyond, like, it happens very occasionally, right? And you'll see someone and you'll be like, I might have to revisit my sexuality. What the fuck? How do they look that good?
Oh, like my mate Tanky calls it a man crush. He's got a man crush on Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, it could be Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
But he actually says, like, look at him.
Oh, yeah.
He's a god. And I'm like, you do remember your missus and kids are there, right? It's like, yeah, but just look at him.
But I think that's just a healthy thing, you know what I mean? Everyone can have that kind of Henry Cavill kind of like crush thing. That's fine. You know what I mean?
I'm just happy that I'm at strong 7.
Yeah, strong 7. Like a high 7. Like a 7 plus.
Just
you know what I mean?
teetering on
like the 8's there. But when you
all depends which bar I go in, I suppose.
But when you see an 8, you'll be like, I'm a 7.
Right, so
here we go. What are you going to say before we go on to our quote of the day?
in my head, I was a 10.
Yeah, but there's no room for improvement. No one's a 10. No one is a 10.
No, so there's never been a 10.
Yeah, there's like one. I don't know who that is, but no one's a 10.
You've never seen a 10?
Oh, no. But I actually don't fancy 10s.
So what?
Oh, yeah, I don't fancy 10s.
You don't fancy 10?
No.
Is that because they know they're a 10?
No. I just normally don't fancy obvious.
Without getting yourself into trouble, then what's your normal number?
I
I reckon you're in the middle. I reckon you're one of them has to be in the middle, just teetering into the 6?
No, I think they would have to be like,
Can they be prettier than you?
yeah, by far.
Do you want something to show off, right?
I think so. But the problem about that is that all of my exes have tried to sleep with my exes, and some have. So once my ex was going out with my ex, so it's like it was.
What?
Yeah, you don't have to think about this, do you?
So what would you scale yourself on 1 to 10?
I think that's really hard because I don't think I asked you to scale yourself.
Okay.
So it's quite hard in that
So what do you
one.
reckon they scale you as? Somebody must have told you this already.
I don't know because I'm a little bit older now and stuff like that. So
So are you becoming a daddy then?
people have called me that. I get it a lot on Twitter. And
So you
stuff
get
like that.
the younger ones.
I don't. Yeah, but that's not what I really fancy. Everyone's gonna be like, "Shut the fuck up." But it's true. Like, if
So you don't go for.
if you're not
twinks.
over if you're not over like 30,
Mm.
then if your next birthday isn't 30, it's a no.
So I reckon you go for about a 7s, 6 or 7s.
Yeah, I think seven like /8. Yeah.
Because that way I think you see yourself as about a 5, 6.
I don't know.
I see myself as a 10.
I don't really see myself as a actual number. I think it's all dependent on the person. You know, sometimes you think, yeah, man, I look great today. And then sometimes you're like, oh, I saw a picture of myself that day. I look shit.
Yeah, I don't look good on camera. I swear to God, the mirrors made me look better. Because
I think you're picking out things that you don't like about yourself more than the things that you are liking about yourself.
Yeah, I'm not liking the wrinkles that are happening as I'm getting older.
Just have to enjoy it, man. No one cares about
Embrace the wrinkles.
No one cares about George
So then
Clooney's wrinkles. You know what I mean? They just love it.
But he's got fucking money and swagger, isn't he?
Mate, which one came first?
The swagger.
Probably.
He's just got that persona about him, isn't he?
He was famous later. He didn't make it famous until his mid-30s.
No, I actually see him in something that was like, what? And he was just like an extra.
Oh, right, yeah. He was in Friends. He did Friends early stages because he was in ER. That was his first main job.
Oh.
I think.
I remember him in ER. That's pretty much the only thing I do remember him. A couple of movies.
I'm going to finish on this. We'll do a little quote thing. But what would you say your best friend would say about you in a couple of words?
She would say that I'm always there when you need me. Well, she actually did recently, actually, that she can tell me anything and I'd never judge them. Doesn't matter what, when, how. I've never judged. I've always supported when they rung me at any time of night, day or night.
What if they
Same.
killed a badger and then ate it? Would you judge them then?
I'd ask, was it chewy? What the fuck did you want to eat badger for?
They're like, yeah, it's really chewy. It was actually still alive when I was eating it. You know what I mean? Like, the element is you would still judge them. But I know what you
would be
mean.
like, I'm sure we'll do. You just rung me.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about it. Yeah, fine. Yeah, so you would be there for them.
We can be honest with each other to the point she's like, I don't know, it's hard. So there's like people have said, are you two together? But we're not together.
Right.
There's never been anything like that. It's just, you know, when you could just be honest with someone.
Yeah.
And we've been through some fight. Obviously, she used to work the door with me in bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm. So you have backstory.
So yeah, it's kind of like the shit she's been through, I've supported her when she's needed it. And the shit that I've been through has no hesitation. She doesn't judge me. And if she does, she's brutally honest. Do you know what I mean? She's like, what the fuck are you doing that for? Do you know what I mean? And that's what I think a true friend is. One that doesn't butter the bullshit, says how it is, and doesn't not want to be your friend.
If you met someone like that and there was a romantic element, would you fall in love with them?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh, what the fuck are you looking for?
So love to me, it works to be there for each other, to cuddle each other, to be loyal is the big part for me.
Okay.
And love to me is looking at someone and making your heart flutter.
Okay. But that's not always.
No, there's lots of different combinations what I think love is. Love is...
I mean, it can happen in a relationship, but that doesn't last.
Like, I've never... No. In a relationship, you should be able to have a fucking argument. You may not like that person for 24 hours, but I've always believed you never go to bed angry.
Oh, I believe the other way around.
You should go to bed angry.
Yeah, because I feel a lot more remorseful when I wake up in the morning.
What happens if the person died? Asleep. Something happens because shit like that does happen.
Means I won
The last fucking
means I won the argument.
Oh.
Does that mean I won?
Dearly departed. Well. Before I chuck this dirt on, I won.
Hey, this is what we're here to make people laugh. What are you signing off with your feel good quote of the week, month, whatever? With
My eyes are blue.
yes,
I hadn't really thought about that one.
cool, like him.
No, I wanted to say, I want to believe that love is real. That's what I want to tell people. Just because I'm broken, don't mean you don't need to believe in love.
Like him. I am going to say, put yourself on your list of 3.
I'm going to try that. I won't guarantee someone goes, you're arrogant. All right, fair enough.
You can say it yourself if you want to, but I didn't say love yourself. I just said, oh, I like myself.
Oh, for God, you can't like and love yourself.
You can like yourself. You don't have to love yourself.
What happens if I end up my own number 1 fan?
Mate, I'll get some posters up for you. We'll do it like a teenage boy's bedroom. It's fine.
Yeah.
All the daddies on the wall. Anyway, so
In a gay world,
yeah.
would I be on a higher than Kai? Just so I know.
What? Wait, Pete, Kai.
Kai,
Okay.
right?
Would you be higher up? Would you pull more?
Yeah.
No.
What, even being a daddy?
Yeah.
And him only being 21?
Is he 21?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, he's pulling more.
What, so his number would be high? Not pulling, but as in on a scale of 1 to 10.
You're in different categories, but yeah, probably he will be higher. But will he be when he's the same age as you? The answer is no.
Yeah!
So comparable, when you were 21, you know what I mean? You might have been a higher number than him.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, but he's beating you. It's fine. Is he still editing this podcast?
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah, he still does the editing.
Thanks, Kai.
Yeah,
That's
Pete's-
amazing. We do miss you, to be honest. It's fine.
Yeah, no,
we
he's
love
still
Pete.
involved. He's just doing it
Yeah.
in Southampton.
And we're just doing it literally just by ourselves.
Yeah.
Get well soon, Pete. I know you're not feeling very well, so please get well.
And also subscribe, and we know if you're watching.
Yeah, we know. Because
know.
we it's easy to check when there's 54 of you. Until next week, Scott,
Ta-da!
put yourself on the list.